indicate that the white goods sales may not be looking good, even though the heat is getting scorching right now. The question on investors' mind is, will June be a washout ahead of GST implementation? We have B. Thiagarajan, Joint MD of Blue Star, and Nilesh Gupta, Managing Partner at Vijay Sales, now joining us. Good morning, gentlemen. Mr. Thiagarajan, first word from you. Early indicators in terms of sales, are they not looking as good?
Good morning. Thank you for talking to me. I think the reaction of the retail channels is worse than what I anticipated. We know very well that they will be cautious in stocking. That means the primary sale is supposed to dip. But the growth in May as a category is somewhat surprising to me. We, for example, in May grew just by 1%. Of course, this is compared with last May, which was a 40% growth month. Okay. It is more than what I anticipated. I know very well it will dip, but it is much more than what it should have been.
Mr. Thiagarajan, what you're saying is that this may be more a trade response to not having stocks ahead of GST. But Mr. Nilesh Gupta is there to give us that side of the story as well. Mr. Gupta, what is your sense? How has been customer response in May?
Good morning. In fact, if you see, air conditioner is a very seasonal business. So what we saw in West, it has been a very good season compared to last year, because last year West was a washout. And this year West, the summer was there. So we have seen nearly a growth of approximately 20-25% over last year. Yes, the growth was more pronounced in April, where we had a 30% growth, but in May also we had a good growth. Now, if you see overall in the country now, Delhi has not performed so well, because Delhi you had intermittent showers throughout the summer season. And also South, which had taken off very well last year, did not take off. So I think overall that is what the brands are feeling, that the thing has not happened, because across the country the summer did not take off as it was expected. Okay. Now coming on the GST thing, as far as June being a washout, I think possibly June would be a washout for the manufacturers, because primary sale is going to get affected. But secondary sale is definitely going to go up, because consumers are reading, and which is a fact also, that prices once the GST regime come in will go up. And so consumers, at least 4 to 5%, the consumer durable prices will go up after the GST comes in. So there is also then, secondly, because there is going to be a huge heavy loss for all the transit stocks which we are carrying between the VAT regime to the GST regime. So there will be a lot of offers which the retailers would be giving. Like Vijay Sales have already started giving since last week offers for sale. So I think the secondary will pick up. But the best part for the industry would be in June, primary sale may not happen, but the channel stock will get more or less depleted. So July will see a real upswing for everybody.
Okay, so when you say real upswing, what kind of growth are you looking at? You spoke about 30% in April, 20-25% in May. July onwards, what kind of growth are you looking at, Nilesh? And can you break that up for us between Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 cities? Where are you seeing maximum amount of demand?
See, July, you will not see a growth in the secondary sales, because what is happening is, if June does a good month for retailers, that means the customers would have preponed the sale. Those who would be planning to buy in July, August will buy it earlier because of the price rise and because of the discounts which are being offered. So July possibly will see a flat sale, and from July, August onwards, August, September onwards, when the GST things will settle down, all prices will come settle down, I think then it will be back to normal business. We'll see a growth of around 10 to 15% month on month over last year.
Okay, Mr. Thiagarajan, how are you reading the remaining part of 2017?
There are a few more perspectives. Number one is our sales close to 40% comes from not retailers, sales and service dealers. They are exclusive, and their behavior has not changed at all. They continue to push up the sales. Last year, June, if you recall, it was a bad primary sales month for most of us. And for example, our growth was just 10% last year. So therefore, June itself, I see Blue Star growing by around 15%. Now, on the whole, the full year, we are not revising the estimates at all, because as I had earlier mentioned, that the GST will push up the prices by 2.5 to 3%. Real calculations reveal that it will not be going up due to GST. It may go up due to commodity prices or something like that. This is because earlier we paid MRP-based excise on based on the abatement, though the average price realization would have been lower. Now, GST being charged on the actual selling price or the transaction value, the incidence of GST is not going to push up the prices, is the latest information I want to share. So therefore, the consumer sentiment, the good monsoon happening, pushing up the festival season, given that the penetration is still less than 5%, I do not think on the whole the industry growth, which we had stated maybe around 20%, will be affected at all.
Okay. Gentlemen, just hold on. Important update on...
Mr. Tyagarajan, we understand that LG has taken off its discounts. So is there some pricing ease, elbow room that is emerging?
Of course, yes. See, for example, we have advised all our dealers, whatever be the GST-related dilution, that will be compensated by us in full. We have assured the trade, whatever be your dilution, they will compensate. And therefore, there will be some kind of dilution in the margins or price realization. But as I mentioned to you, post-GST, we are likely to gain because of the actual excise GST incidents that will be taking place. So on the whole, I do not foresee any margin-related issues at all. We have to wait and see commodities, how they will behave or so. But you have been talking about this in many programs. My view will be in long-term consumer sentiment, how it will be. Post-GST, I believe the disposable income will be higher in the hands of upper middle class and middle class. So the demand is going to be good in the rest of the period.
Okay, Mr. Tyagarajan, thank you so much for joining us.